you choose is going to be there with you from the very beginning to the very end.
You know, Bob, you're absolutely right, but it's not only the clients that ask those questions. Because when we walk into a courtroom, it's our adversaries and it's the court that asks exactly those same questions. How long have you been doing this for? Who's behind you? How reliable is your firm? And one of the things that we're proud of in Levy Phillips and Koenigsberg, with the generations of experience that we bring to the table, is that when we face an adversary, when we go into a court, we know that there's going to be an expectation on the other side that we're ready to take the case all the way. And those questions are always answered positively.
You know, Moshe, one of the things that we take pride in is to try cases against not only tough companies like the talc companies, but companies who take the position, we're not going to pay you anything. We'd rather fight than pay a penny. And I'll tell you something, a lot of law firms just don't bother trying cases against them because they're going to have to spend a lot of time and effort to get money from them. And one of the things I've taken great pride in was a case that we had representing an individual who worked with a gasket and a cable. And both companies said our nationwide position is we won't pay in those cases, we'll try them. And rather than back down, we tried that case on behalf of that individual, and we got the first ever cable verdict against any cable manufacturer in the United States, and we also got a tremendous verdict against the gasket manufacturer. So we are very happy to take on a case, and matter of fact, let a defendant say, you know, we don't want to pay you. Make our day. We're happy to try those cases. Jerry, I know you had a similar situation.
Yes, I did, Bob. And those cases were against the welding rod industry. The welding rod industry is another very powerful industry. And we had two clients come to us, one with mesothelioma and the other with lung cancer. Both men were diagnosed with these diseases while they were in their 50s, with children. And both men shared a common exposure to welding rods that contained asbestos on the outer coating. We did some research on this, and we found that the welding rod industry litigated these cases very hard and had never lost a case of this type before. But what we did was we consulted the leading experts in the field on this issue. We found experts who had actually done tests on welding rods and determined that when welding rods are rubbed together, when they're abraded, when they're handled in the workplace, they do release asbestos fibers. And we put on our case in front of a jury, and we won the case in front of a jury and got our clients
and his children, never realizing that what he's bringing home on him could cause a terrible disease in his family. Last thing a worker would ever want to do, someone who's working hard to make money for his family, to bring home a deadly carcinogen. But that's often what happens. The other type of exposure that you can have in your home are common everyday products that in the years up till about 1985 contained asbestos, such as floor tiles, your shingles on the outside of your home, roofing tiles, as well as joint compound that are used in your walls. So these are things that people used or had used on their homes that could have exposed them to asbestos. So there are lots of different ways that people can be exposed to asbestos.
The common thread in all of this is that asbestos was commercially exploited by the manufacturers of these products. Not only was it exploited, but it was specified for use on various equipment that our clients, the victims of exposure to asbestos, installed, maintained, and repaired.